The house in Shanghai is facing a mortgage default because my husband and I both lost our jobs this year. But I'm not sad at all because I have long waited to stop living in Shanghai. People of our generation work for 20 years to pay off the mortgage for 30 years and spend the remaining years in the hospital. This kind of life can almost be seen at a glance. I am exhausted.
真的累了。
没地方住了。
I had no place to live, was out of money, couldn't pay my mortgage, and the court seized my house. Not only was my down payment gone, but my monthly payments over the past few years were also gone, and I still owed the bank $40,000.
银行37万。
My dad just has no money temporarily. Why don't they let me go home? He works very hard and has been working hard to make money.
一直努力赚钱。
With the collapse of the realty market and the economic downturn, the number of foreclosed properties in mainland China surged in the first 2 months of this year, including in first-tier cities such as Shanghai. According to the China Index Academy's judicial auction database, from January to February, 172,000 various types of judicial auction properties were listed for auction in China's judicial auction market. Approximately 28,200 auction items were sold, and the judicial auction transaction rate was 13.7%. However, this data on foreclosed properties is for reference only, and the actual number of mortgage defaults may be higher. House prices have plummeted. On many Chinese self-media platforms, people in debt could be seen everywhere. Some owners broke down and cried after they stopped paying their mortgages. Some owners saw that their houses were about to be auctioned off, and on impulse they smashed all the decorations. Let's talk about related topics today. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. The number of foreclosed properties in Shanghai is increasing. Do you know? Last month there were more than 500 new foreclosed properties in Shanghai, more than 200 of which are being auctioned and more than 300 are about to be auctioned. The number is increasing every day and the trend is getting worse. There are so many foreclosed houses in Shanghai now because some real estate projects depreciate too fast. Not only have many people lost their down payments, but the value of their homes is even hundreds of thousands of dollars less than their previous loans. We have an actual case here. An owner of Gaojing Garden bought his house in 2020 when the house price peaked. At that time, it was $14,000 per square meter. He paid off the loan for 4 years. Now it's only $6,000 per square meter. Even if he sells it now, he will lose everything and owe the bank hundreds of thousands of dollars. The owner said he would stop paying the mortgage instead of paying off the loan. Many of his friends who bought houses simultaneously also stopped paying the mortgage. To be honest, I am not pessimistic about the market. These are all bloody lessons. A professional in Suzhou posted a video saying that a number of foreclosed properties nationwide has reached nearly 1 million. Although foreclosed properties have increased, the auction success rate has not reached 20%. This means that of the 1 million houses held by the bank, more than 800,000 cannot be sold and will become worthless reinforced concrete. So banks are too lazy to take photos and auction your house. The transaction rate of judicially auctioned houses in Suzhou is only around 20%. He said, some people have stopped paying their mortgage for 1 or 2 years, but the bank not only does not confiscate their loans, but bank managers will even call you every day and visit you at home to negotiate with you to pay a little less each year, or lower your interest rate, or even waive interest. But they beg you to at least pay back the principal. If you still don't have the money to pay back, some banks will even find you a job so you can work and pay off your debts. In short, they just beg you not to stop paying your mortgage. I have defaulted on my mortgage. In 2018, I followed the crowd and bought a house in Wuhan for $280,000. It has been 2 months since I defaulted and the house is about to be seized. The down payment was $83,000 last year and the monthly mortgage payment was $1,100. Although business has been bad recently, I've been blindly holding on. A few days ago, I closed my store, lost my income, and couldn't pay the monthly mortgage. I realized that I had to pay $64,000 for the mortgage over the past 4 years, of which only $8,300 was the principal and the rest was interest. Now I am about to be sued. Not only will my house be seized, but my bank card will also be frozen. A few days ago, the court notified me that there would be tens of thousands of dollars in additional fines. When I looked at the fees, I saw liquidated damages, fines, litigation fees, attorney fees, and many other things. Today, I received a call saying that my house would be auctioned soon, that the appraisal was only $230,000, and that there was another 20% discount, meaning it was only $180,000. If the house were auctioned at this price, not only would I lose the house, but my down payment and the $64,000 I paid back would all be lost. I would also owe the court a considerable fee of at least $100,000. This is the consequence of forcing yourself without considering your ability. All the family savings of more than 10 years have gone away.
全家十几年的积蓄全部打了水漂。
上海一个业主买的这个房子啊，从600万
The price of the house purchased by an owner in Shanghai dropped from $760,000 to $480,000. He was forced to stop paying the mortgage and have the house auctioned off. He was left with a huge debt and his girlfriend was scared away. A recent complaint from a 30-year-old former homeowner in Shanghai made me realize what it means to go from heaven to hell in one thought, and how quickly the middle class can degenerate. He is 30 years old this year and works in the IT industry in Shanghai. As we all know, the IT internet industry was very popular in the past few years. A few years after graduation, his monthly salary increased from $1,400 to $4,200, which is also high in Shanghai. He was full of energy and ambition at that time. He had a girlfriend and gradually wanted to settle down in Shanghai. He couldn't afford a house in the center of Shanghai, so he finally chose a small 3-bedroom apartment of 95 square meters in Juqiao Pudong New Area. At that time, the unit price was $8,001 per square meter, and the total cost was $760,000. He asked his parents for money and added his savings to make a down payment of $280,000. He took out a loan of $480,000 with a monthly fee of $2,600 for a loan period of 30 years.
每月月供了19631元。
The blogger said that later the company laid off employees, and unfortunately he was on the first batch of layoffs. At first, he thought the impact was not significant. After all, he was still young and could definitely find a better job with his ability and hard work. However, he underestimated the seriousness of the matter. 3 months passed in a flash and he still couldn't find a job. The pressure of the $2,600 monthly mortgage and living expenses made him feel suffocated. Finally, he discussed with his girlfriend whether they should sell the house and return to their hometown to develop a career. But his girlfriend didn't want to go back with him and only wanted to stay in Shanghai. Ultimately, his girlfriend didn't want to drag him down and decided to break up, and their love ended. After the breakup, he was sad for a while. Later, he started looking for an agent to sell the house, but what he didn't expect was that the house couldn't be sold after being on the market for several months, and no one even asked about it. The agent said the house was in a remote location and the overall environment was not very good. The agent suggested listing it at $480,000 if he wanted to sell it quickly. Otherwise, it would not be easy to sell. The price of the house he bought for $760,000 suddenly dropped to $480,000. He was shocked to hear the price and had no choice but to stop paying the mortgage. After the house was foreclosed, he lost his home and his down payment. His previous monthly mortgage payments were also wasted, and he still owed the bank hundreds of thousands of dollars. When he saw the result, he couldn't help crying. He said he had just bought a house. Why did it turn out like this?
我的房子已经开始被拍卖了。
My house has been auctioned off. I took out a $110,000 loan and have been paying it off for 5 years. I still owe the bank $100,000. A few days ago, the court notified me to clean the things inside. My heart felt like a needle pricked it. I felt very regretful and helpless. I am 37 years old. I bought this house in May 2016, and I pay the mortgage of $700 every month, half of which is interest. By March 2021, I paid off almost $40,000. Even though my business failed halfway through, I scraped together enough money to pay off the mortgage and persevered. I thought that hard work and persistence would earn me this house. But I didn't expect that at the end of March 2021, I was put in a small dark room and started to stop paying my mortgage. When I came out of the dark room 2 years later, I already owed the bank $17,000 in mortgage payments. The bank also wants me to continue paying the $700 mortgage every month. If not, they will sue me. But I just got out of the little dark room. I don't even have a stable job. Even eating is a problem. How can I afford this huge mortgage?
吃饭都成问题，我怎么有能力去承担这份巨额的房贷呢？
The blogger told the bank her situation truthfully. The bank staff said they deeply sympathized with her situation, but there was nothing they could do, and they had to go through routine judicial procedures. It was their job. Blogger Zhao Yuwei is an undergraduate who graduated from Anhui University in 2009. He said he had not paid his mortgage for 2 months.
就在今天，我做了一个非常艰难的
I made a tough decision just today. I plan to stop paying off this mortgage and will not pay it back in the future. Although I don't know the specific consequences of doing so, I cannot afford a monthly mortgage of $580 based on my current situation. I was fired from my company in April this year for personal reasons. I used to think I had a worry-free job, but now I feel like the sky is falling. Without the support in my career as a person living paycheck to paycheck, I have no choice but to stop paying my $580 mortgage.
我只能选择断供了。
Many friends told him he was still young and could find other jobs. If he really couldn't make it, he could work as a delivery boy or courier, but he couldn't accept those jobs. He said that if he were a junior high school graduate, he would do that kind of work without hesitation or in a factory. However, he felt he was a university graduate with higher education. He hoped to find a job that matched his major because he had to explain his 10 years of complex study to his parents and himself. A netizen from Inner Mongolia said, "I am worse off than you. I have no house or car and tens of thousands of dollars in debt, but it's okay, just do your best." A netizen from Shandong also said, "There are too many people looking for jobs, and it's good enough to find a job."
我买完房眼泪都哭干了，我房贷3700多。
I cried my eyes out after buying the house. My monthly mortgage is $510, and I've been paying it for 5 years. I still have a loan of $90,000, but my house is now down to $75,000. My loan is higher than the house price. My daily job is to work for the bank. What is the meaning of my hard work every day? I have been so anxious that my voice has become hoarse. Do I earn money just to pay the monthly installment to the bank? Since I bought the house, I have never eaten out. I only eat an egg for breakfast, which is healthy and not expensive. Since I bought the house, I have not bought anything for fear that I will not have money to repay the loan one day. People say that buying a home is for a better life and happiness, but after I bought the house, why can't I feel happy?
我怎么就感觉不出来幸福呢？
In the past, if you stopped paying your mortgage, the court would take a tough stance and immediately foreclose on your property and kick you out. But now, as more and more people stop paying their mortgages, banks are becoming more lenient towards you. If you say you can't pay your mortgage now, the bank will urge you to pay back in the first month and threaten you in the second. When you can no longer be intimidated, in the second month, the bank will come to you for negotiation, saying that you cannot pay back the $1,000, so you can pay back half of it first. You can pay back $500 first. If you say you don't have $500, they will tell you that one of their branches needs a security guard, and the monthly salary of the security guard is exactly $500. You can come to work in our bank, so you will find that they will help you find a job. If you really can't pay back, they will not foreclose, and the court will not file a case because they will not benefit at all in this case. Why doesn't the court force a foreclosure sale on the house? The blogger said that if a foreclosure is carried out, it will bring harmful consequences to the housing market because the price of foreclosure houses is low, usually less than 70% of similar homes. The house in this area is $2,800 per square meter, but the foreclosure price is $2,000 per square meter. Once the number of foreclosures in the community increases, the housing prices will drop. If there are too many foreclosures, the overall housing prices will be lowered, which is not conducive to stabilizing the housing market. Some owners who have stopped paying their mortgages feel unbalanced and even take extreme actions because their houses are being auctioned off. Huang Liang, a pseudonym, an owner in Fuzhou, could not pay his mortgage on time, so the court would auction off a house under his name. However, before the bank auctioned the house, Huang Liang smashed the decoration facilities beyond recognition. He removed many doors, windows, kitchen and bathroom ceilings, wall sockets, and so on, broke the cabinet doors, and smashed several large holes in the toilet and sink. Some netizens believe that since they decorated the house, there is nothing wrong with destroying the decoration. However, legal experts pointed out that according to the provisions of the civil procedure law, Those who intentionally damage property sealed and seized by the court will be admonished if the circumstances are minor, fined and detained if the circumstances are severe, and if it constitutes a crime, they can also be held criminally liable following the law. One netizen said, although the homeowner had a moment of venting his anger, the house was sold at a lower price. One netizen commented, "My house will also be auctioned off, but I won't just smash it up. I will cooperate with the bank to vacate the house and clean it up to cooperate with the auction. I hope the price of the house can be higher." That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.